Hello everyone! Hi, it's Ronda, and I am your Cheshire Canary. Today is the first episode for series number two. And this is Firearms. Just another facet of this Cheshire cat, right? Okay. In my family, women really didn't touch firearms. There was a time where we had the Great Turtle War, and if you want to hear that story, I can give it to you. Long the short of it, Turtle cleaned up a whole bunch of fish that I had personally caught. Tomboy here, okay? So I caught fish for the entire family one weekend, and a turtle bit through the live well mesh fence on the back of the boat, and within 15 minutes cleaned out the almost 20 fish, including 2 really nice catfish that were in that well, which set my grandfather, my father, and my uncles on the Great Turtle War. So if you want to know that story, I'd be glad to share it with you. I was the oldest and the biggest, and I really had a propensity or an attraction to hunting. I had, may rest in peace, a grand uncle that did a lot of trapping on that on the property there, because we had a real big problem with mink and muskrats, and he come over and trap. Long story short, I wasn't allowed to have even a .22. They gave me a BB gun that couldn't get even a quarter away across the pond. So anyhow, this kind of shows you that I had the complete responsibility to get motivated to learn about firearms, to educate myself about firearms, to become proficient with firearms, to become comfortable in firearms, and to learn the laws. I got comfortable to the point that I took the class. At that time it was 12 hours for my Ohio concealed carry permit. Liked it so much, and was a natural shot that I decided that it was definitely time for me to pick up another little part-time job or passion, an ability to educate. I actually feel better that there's a couple of thousand people out there that I've taught. I did it. And it was my responsibility to educate them. And I made sure that they were educated and had fun. And understood that the main part of everything with firearms is that it's your responsibility. It's my responsibility. Educate, practice, train, maintain. It's 100% your and my responsibility. The first firearm I purchased, I'm really big on USA made, if I can do it at all, if I can purchase it at all. And there's a firearms company in Ohio, in Mansfield, called High Point. From what I understand, it was designed to get around the early assault rifle ammunition restrictions. And they've done that. They have carbines that are a blast. I own 2. But the very first firearm I purchased from them is this Luger style 9mm handgun. Now, I've already had it cleared, but if you can see, there's a trigger lock in it. That's why I didn't even slide the slide back. This has a bunch of safety options on it that on this firearm all work, but a safety is a device that's designed to fail. Ergo, in storage, it's got a trigger lock. There's no way you're getting this off. And by the way, if you notice, there's no key for this firearm, because it's a very special trigger lock that comes with the firearm. And every firearm that High Point produces comes with this tool. It's a multi-tool. I have 2 of, actually more than that. But with only that tool, you're going to get that trigger lock off. It really doesn't like any of the other types of locks, the design of the firearm. But that was the first one I purchased. A lot of people laughed at me. I don't care. Brick served me well while I was learning. Brick is not something or someone that I carry around. Brick is in storage like this. except in the summertime, and when I just get the heebie-jeebies. And then Brick is fully loaded and laying on my nightstand. So I have my everyday carry firearm downstairs, and Brick upstairs ready to be deployed at the top of the stairs, which is choke point. Another thing that you can learn. Like I said, I learned all of this on my own, self-motivation. Loved the class. I had a wonderful, wonderful NRA counselor that taught me how to instruct. There's only one certification, unless it's changed, that he doesn't have, and that's Range Safety Officer Counselor. That's the only NRA certification he doesn't have. He's a lifetime member, and he can teach everything to instructors and children, and he's a 4-H instructor as well. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about is I told you I'm a member of the NRA. As a member of the NRA, you get little perks, and one of which is this magazine, Freedom First. The reason that I wanted to bring this up is that the election is less than a week away. And I've done a lot of thinking. At first I kind of balked at Trump. I've always felt that a president should have active duty or reserve military training of some sort. And I've actually served. That's important. But here's the reason that Donald J. Trump is my pick for the presidency, and it may sound odd. Number one, with all the allocations of him, molesting women and whatnot 30 years ago, think about it, people. If it happened 30 years ago and it was Donald Trump, and he's a multi-millionaire, why didn't you do the accusations then, and he'd pay you hush money and you'd go out of the way? Just go on down the road, you'd have your $1 million or whatever, and go on down the road and forget about it. But no, all these women are coming out of the woodwork after 30 years? Please. Now, that aside, the reason that I feel that Donald J. Trump is the man for the presidency this year in 2016 is that it's time that this country has a CEO as commander-in-chief. He knows how to build a team. He knows how to build a team that works. And you know it works because the man's worth millions. You cannot knock him for that. You cannot knock him for whatever he happens to pay in taxes. Because quite honestly, he follows the laws. It's stupid not to. I don't understand why people think this is a horrible thing. He follows the laws just like he's supposed to. Okay. And he knows how to build people around him that know more than he does in certain areas. I am excited at thinking of the cabinet that he puts together. I mean, the cabinets that Ronald Reagan and George Herbert Walker Bush and George Walker Bush put together were phenomenal. Because their cabinet, had little cabinets. Little fingers to work together and properly advise the commander-in-chief. That's what we need, is somebody who knows how to work his group, knows how to work that core brain. And that is what I think Donald J. Trump will be bringing to the country. That and his passion for the country. Hillary scares me. Not as much as Barack Hussein Obama did, but Hillary does scare me. I get infuriated when people say there's a special place in hell for a woman that won't vote for Hillary. I'm sorry, I vote with my head, not my gender, okay? And I will not vote for somebody just because they're female. Sorry, my thing, if you have a problem, that's fine. You can believe your way, I'll believe mine, and we can all argue together, but I'd rather not argue. There's really no way anybody could change my mind. I have a lot of family and friends that have opposite opinions, and that's fine. We all still love each other. We just don't talk about politics very much. As soon as we state somewhere that this is the way we feel, we don't argue about it. We all know we study and we commiserate over the decision because it's a huge decision as an American citizen to vote. It's not only a huge decision when you make that vote, it's your responsibility as an American citizen to vote. Why more people don't do it, I don't know. So, it's an awful lot in the very first edition of series number 2, Firearms. But this is a very important one that I wanted to get out there right away. So, if you like the way this channel's going so far, please subscribe and like it if you would. Share it around, let everybody know. And I will see you again later for the series number 3 first episode. So take care, God bless, and keep smiling.